I'm Glenn Campbell. I call myself a demographic philosopher. I'm looking at life and trying to predict the future through the lens of demography, or the study of human populations. In an episode I released yesterday, I listed 5 reasons why parents should not live in the same household as the children in my proposed post-nuclear family. And I woke up this morning and realized I had forgotten one. There's a 6th one, and I forgot to put it in. And I debated whether I should just re-record the previous episode or add an addendum. And it turns out this is an important enough issue that it really deserves its own episode. So that's what I'm going to do now. What is the 6th reason that you don't want parents living in the same household as the children they're raising? And that reason is to insulate the children from the parents' disputes. So this is a complicated management challenge. You have at least 8 adults trying to raise between 9 and 18 kids without killing each other. And I recognize that it's a huge challenge because each of those 8 people, each of those 8 adults are going to have slightly different ideas about all sorts of things, about how the children should be raised. They should not clash on the basic principles, because if they did not already agree on the basic principles, they would not have formed this alliance to begin with. But once the basic principles are decided, then we have all sorts of policy disputes and granular disputes about what we should do in general and what we should do in specific situations. This is especially important in this system where I'm proposing that you can be a on-duty parent only one day a week. If a parent comes in only one day a week and the parents have different ideas about parenting, then if a child can just go to the parent that they think they're going to get the best deal from. So the parent on Monday might seem very strict, so you don't ask him for things that you know he's probably going to deny. You go to the nicer parent on Wednesday who's more likely to give you what you want. And this is a challenge. The parents have to be on the same page. They have to be in agreement on what the rules are. Otherwise, you have what would be called parent shopping, where children shop around among the parents to get whatever it is they want. So this is a complicated situation. The whole policy of what we should be doing, how we should be raising kids, what privileges we should be giving them is a complicated debate. And it goes on and on and on among the parents. And my contention is it should go on and on completely outside the hearing of the children. So the children, if they ask one parent something, some sort of permission, they should get exactly the same answer from that parent as they would get from another parent. And that's because the parents should have worked it all out behind the scenes. So if you come in, your day is Monday, you come in, you're going to interact with your kids. These are all your kids. You're going to interact with them in a special way. You have your personality. You click with some of the kids in ways you don't with others. You're going to distribute your attention as you choose. But when a critical question comes up from a child, can I do this? They should get the same answer from everybody. And maybe the parent doesn't know the answer. The parent should at least know that, okay, this is something I can resolve on my own, or this is something I've got to consult with the other parents about. And you could be quite explicit about that. If someone asks to see a certain movie that you don't think is too appropriate, Well, you have to say, I'm going to have to consult with the other parents on this. And that consultation happens outside the view of the children. So they just get an answer. They don't see the process. The process can be kind of messy. There can be a lot of heated debate about what should be done, but it shouldn't happen within the view of the children. Likewise, the relationships between the parents should be outside of the children's view. Now, I suggested that one way to start this family would be for four couples, four romantically involved couples, deciding to raise their children together. What happens if one or more of those couples decide to get divorced, decide they can't live with each other? In a traditional nuclear family, that would be just devastating to the children because their whole existence depends on mommy loving daddy. If that's not going to be the case, they feel justifiably threatened. In the case of the post-nuclear family, that relationship takes place mostly outside the view of the children. So instead of there being one parent on any day of the week, there could be a couple that comes in on a certain day of the week. And at some point, the couple can say, we're not going to come in together. We've decided to get a divorce. You're still going to see us, but you might not see us on the same day. And the kids are going to kind of shrug and say, so what? It's a lot different if the parents have their dispute, have their pre-divorce dispute right there in the household with the children. So it's a pretty good bet. If you start out with four loving couples, it's a pretty good bet that within the next 10 to 20 years, one or more of them are going to split up. There's going to be internal disputes among all of them. That should not be visible to the children in any way. Now, the disputes between parents, I do not expect to be violent. I do not expect major conflicts between couples. I expect couples to say, okay, we really don't want to live with each other, but we're still friends. And the reason I can expect that is there's a filtering process before these adults ever get together. Based on their personalities, they already have certain personalities that are conducive to working with others, to peaceful dispute resolution, and finding diplomatic ways to solve problems. That's expected of all the parents. That's part of their personalities. And in the next episode, I'm going to dive into it. What kind of personalities would be forming this consortium?